Well, thank you again for tuning in to an episode of Second in Command. I'm your host, Lou Monty, and this week, you guessed it, we'll be reviewing It's Probably Nothing. It's an excellent live event put on by Jesse Michels of American Alchemy and Chris Ramsay from Area 52. They both do wonderful jobs with their podcast, great information, great research, and wonderful guests that they bring on to interview. So if you get a chance, definitely you want to check out their podcast and YouTube videos. This event, I believe, was the first one that they put on, and I got to give it glaring props. It was really good, and it ended with one heck of a surprise that we will get to here in just a few. I had a little bit of anticipation about this event. Unfortunately, I found out a little bit too late about it, missed out on the VIP tickets and VIP experience, which I would have loved to have done and gotten a chance to meet with some of the VIPs that were actually there, as well as Chris and Jesse. So I ended up having a general admission seat, and it wasn't bad, nothing bad at all. The theater is a great place. It's a wonderful historic place, and likewise, if you ever get a chance to see something there, I would recommend it as well. So doors were opening at 7, with the event kicking off at 8. I was able to chat with some people on the way in. There was one couple from as far away as Los Angeles. So it wasn't just folks from the Central Texas area attending the event. So right around 8 o'clock, they did kick off with a little bit of entertainment. There was a juggler comedian out there for just a few minutes, not too long. And then they opened up the curtains, and the set was done pretty much very similar to what Jesse has recently done to his studio here in the Austin area. It looks like the inside of a spaceship of sorts with panels with lights on them and things like that. They also had some really neat retro furnishings out there. Their first guest was they had actually surveyed or asked for people to send in from the area some incidents that they may have had. And their first guest came out was a fellow from the central Austin area, and he lives down on Congress Avenue and right about Ben White. Some may call it the SoCo area. It's kind of may not be proper for the real aficionados of downtown Austin to call that area SoCo, but South Congress area. And he talked about his situation and what he had seen. And this was right about the time right before the beginning of the drone flap in New Jersey and up in the Northeast, November of 2024. He was out walking his dog and noticed something moving just above the treetops, strange lighting and things like that. It came to him. He was able to get some pictures that he showed Jesse and Chris. Unfortunately, they didn't have a way of projecting that out for the whole audience to see. They did interview him about 10 to 15 minutes. They chatted. It was great. Maybe a little bit more talk between Jesse and Chris. Then they brought out their first of their special guests of the lineup, and that was none other than UAP Gerb. And what I have found very interesting, and I thought they called him by name, but I'm not sure now. I tried to find his name in my research leading up to this. And then see where UAP Gerb puts his name out there too much. So he prefers to remain anonymous. And because I don't know his name, I guess in this broadcast, he will remain anonymous. He does some really, really deep research into different either UAP crashes or government projects, and he loves his acronyms. So after some talk and information that he had that Jesse and Chris questioned him over and things, interviewed him, they had a little bit of fun with him and was asking him some general acronyms outside of the UAP government black book, black project realm. It was kind of entertaining to see that. And up to this point, it seemed like like a live podcast, which was fine. However, the highlight of the show came next, and their next special guest they brought out was none other than Bob Lazar, very well known for his whistleblowing, I guess you can say, on Area 51 and the research that's gone on there. For those that know, Bob is, or for those that may not know, Bob apparently, or allegedly, whatever you want to term it, worked on recovered flying craft, alien craft at Area 51, and in particular S4. And S4 is a movie that's going to be coming up, and the producer that Bob has worked on that movie with, Luigi Vendiatelli, I believe. I don't. Maybe I may have hacked that up a little bit, but they came out and they spoke a little bit about the movie. And for those of you that have seen Bob on interviews before, you got to ask the questions and get him to talk. He's a I wouldn't say soft spoken guy, but he's kind of keeps himself, I guess, and he's just not a blabbermouth and a quick fast talker. He has some really wonderful information, and the interviews are great. The few that he's actually done. So this was really something that they pulled off to bring a Bob Lazar out there uh, just prior to their movie release, which I think is probably next month. It's scheduled to come out. And again, that's S4. And S4 would be, what's said to be a hangar built into the side of a mountain out on Area 51 in the Nevada test range. So they did speak some about the movie, and it's quite impressive. What Bob had to say about Luigi, the producer, is that the details. Bob had mentioned things down to how clouds looked on certain days. And then when he started reviewing the film with Luigi, he was surprised to see that the clouds in the film looked exactly that way. So there's great anticipation there. We're all excited about it. It was a wonderful surprise. Bob came out to, excellent applause. Everyone stood up because he is somebody that has brought some information out. Whether people believe it or not is up to you. And if it is, someone like him coming forward with that has been very important to those of us that have been interested in this subject for quite some time. And this all came out, I don't know, late 80s, early 90s. So wonderful event. Had a great time. If you weren't able to catch it this time, hey, they got one coming up on the 20th in Montreal, where Chris is from. And that will be I've got that somewhere here too. That is at the Rialto Theater, February 20th, 8 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. If you missed this event, I would highly suggest you make an arrangement to get yourself to Montreal on the 20th. Thank you again. This is Lou Monty with Second in Command. Have a great day.